Hi, my name is Marissa, and I'm a clinician in the Brooklyn office. Today, we are going to be talking about Cope Ahead, which is a part of DBT's emotion regulation module. Since the holidays are coming up, we are specifically going to focus on how to cope ahead for the holidays. While the holidays can bring up many positive emotions for us, there can also be situations that bring up anxiety, as well as other challenging emotions. DBT takes a dialectical approach, which means that two things that appear as opposites can both be true. A core dialect in DBT is acceptance and change. There are certain things in life that we cannot control, such as events happening in the future, because, well, the future hasn't happened yet, and that is where practicing acceptance is helpful. However, there are certain things that we can control, such as how we prepare and cope in the present moment to set ourselves up for success in the future, which is where change is helpful. For example, we can feel anxious about upcoming interactions with family members who we haven't seen in a while, and, which is a magic word in DBT, cope ahead. To get started, let's first define what cope ahead means. Cope ahead refers to making a plan for ourselves for how we are going to deal with a difficult situation that's happening in the future. By imagining how we can tolerate and cope with the difficult situation in our mind, we are more likely to act effectively and feel a sense of mastery for how we handle the situation. Coping ahead is important because it sets us up for success, meaning that if we're prepared for a situation, there's a higher likelihood that we'll be able to cope with the situation effectively. So now we know what the definition of cope ahead is, but what does this look like? The first step of coping ahead is to identify the situation that is likely to bring up challenging emotions or prompt a problem behavior. When identifying the situation, it's important to focus on the facts and take a non-judgmental stance. For example, I'm going to my cousin's house for the holidays, and my grandfather, mother, aunt, uncle, brothers, and cousins will be there. My cousin told me to arrive at 4 p.m. and dinner will be served at 7 p.m. I'm feeling anxious about interacting with my extended family members at dinner due to questions they might have for me about my relationship that recently ended. The next step is to decide which coping or problem-solving skills you want to use in this situation. Write out in detail how you will cope with the situation and with your emotions and action urges. For example, I will use check the facts, opposite action, stop, and dear man. Next, imagine the situation in your mind as vividly as possible. Imagine yourself in the situation now, not watching the situation, in the situation now, and use your 5 senses to take you there. Or rehearse out loud the step-by-step strategies that you will use. For example, I will use dear man to communicate my emotions effectively and respectfully and ask for what I want or need in the moment, such as a conversation change. Next, rehearse exactly what you can do to cope effectively. Rehearse your actions, your thoughts, what you say, and how to say it. Rehearse coping effectively with new problems that come up. Rehearse coping effectively with our most feared catastrophe. And finally, the last step of coping ahead is to practice taking care of ourselves. It's important to practice relaxation after coping ahead because thinking about these situations can frankly be exhausting. Utilize some self-soothe skills, practice some paced breathing or progressive muscle relaxation, and make time for self-care. We can feel anxious about a situation coming up, and we can cope ahead and take care of ourselves. I hope you all have a nice holiday season, and remember to use your skills to be most effective. Goodbye.